Ever notice how problems tend to show up around windows first? Condensation, drafts, cold drywall, mold at the corner. It's usually not random. Windows sit where a lot of building stresses finally become visible. Not because windows always cause the problem, but because windows sit at one of the most exposed and reactive parts of a house. Ever think about your favorite hoodie, the one you still wear even when it's probably a little too warm for a sweatshirt. Over time, you start noticing small signs of wear. A cuff raise, a stitch pulls loose, maybe a tiny hole forms. You don't suddenly get a giant rip across the middle. The wear tends to show up first at the seams, the cuffs, the elbows, places under more movement and more stress. That's how houses behave too. Windows sit at one of the most exposed and reactive parts of a house. Heat moves through them, air moves around them, moisture responds to them, and windows also sit where multiple materials, assemblies, and control layers all come together. That matters because transitions usually react before large, uninterrupted surfaces do. That's why houses often reveal problems around windows first. Condensation at the glass edge, drafts near the frame, cold drywall nearby, staining at the corners, mold showing up in one spot before anywhere else. Those aren't random locations. They're usually places where the house is under more stress, more movement, more exposure, or more demand. And once a symptom shows up around a window, it's easy to assume the window itself must be the entire problem. Sometimes it is, but sometimes the window is just where the house finally made the issue visible. That distinction matters more than most people realize. Because replacing one failing part of a struggling house doesn't automatically improve the performance of the whole system. New windows alone won't fix poor insulation, air leakage everywhere, humidity problems, imbalanced heating, weak ventilation. They may improve one area, while larger conditions creating discomfort still remain. That's why similar projects can end very differently. One house gets better comfort, lower energy use, more stable temperatures, less condensation, and another house still struggles with cold rooms, uneven comfort, high energy bills, moisture problems, not because the new windows were bad, but because one part was changed without giving attention to other things it was interacting with. And honestly, that mistake makes sense because we were never taught that houses behave like systems. We were taught to focus on the thing we could see first. But houses reveal stress where conditions interact most aggressively. And windows often sit right at the center of those interactions. Windows don't just let you look outside. Sometimes they're also where a house lets you see its problems first. Building science explains it. Applied correctly, it fixes it. Follow along if your house has been trying to tell you something. This is Passive House for the People.